Hello everyone and welcome back again. My name is Moe. On today's episode, I'm going to be sharing survival and settling in tips for new migrants in the UK. Last week I dropped a video about how new migrants can settle in quickly into the UK. So this video is just like a continuation of what I started last week. And I bet most of the tips I'll be sharing in this video is going to be very helpful for you if you're just arriving into the UK. I'm going to be sharing 7 tips, and the 7th one I'm going to be sharing is about employment, how you can get a quick employment if you're a new migrant in the UK. So I would love if you can watch this video to the very end, because every little tips I'm going to be sharing in this video is going to be very vital and useful for you. Please, I would love if you've not subscribed to this channel, so please click on the subscribe button down below, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So the number one thing I have on my survival and settling in tip for new migrants in the UK is opening a bank account. We all know that for different countries there are different criteria or different approach to opening a bank account. If you're coming into the United Kingdom, you will need a bank account as soon as you arrive into the UK. Most migrants, when they are coming, they don't carry pounds from where they are coming from, so they will usually need a bank account to maybe pay whatever. You would definitely need a bank account as soon as you arrive for a lot of these transactions that you're going to be doing. I would advise you to start with an online bank. There are different online banks in the UK, but the two that I'm going to recommend, which I believe are the most popular one, is a Monzo bank account and also a Revolut bank account. Personally, when I came into the United Kingdom, I opened a Monzo bank account and I would say I've been enjoying their services. The good thing about opening an online bank is because you can open it any time of the day, in the middle of the night, any day of the week. So this is going to help you get started, and some of these online bank accounts can even offer you an online card that you can use for your transactions before your physical card arrives. So this is going to save you a lot of stress and headache about how to, maybe if you want to pay for taxi or you want to buy some things and you don't have a cash with you and you don't have an international card that maybe you can go to ATM to get money from. So an online bank is going to save you a lot of headache about transactions. And after settling in, you can then open a normal working bank account. I have both of these banks. Like the Monzo and the Revolut bank don't have like a physical place that you can go to, like a physical bank. It's just online. Everything about them is online. But there are some other banks like Barclays, like HSBC, like loads of banks that you can have a working. This video is not a sponsored video. I'm just giving you free tips about the things that will help you to settle in quickly. The second tip on my list is register with your local GP. So if you're arriving into the UK, you might be overloaded with loads of stuff, especially if you're a student. Maybe you need to go and do some registration. Be so much filled with so much activities that you might forget some of these things that I'm going to be sharing, just like registering yourself with a local GP. So you don't have to wait until you feel sick before you register with a local GP. As soon as you arrive into the UK, let it be one of your priority to register with a local GP. I'm going to drop a link down in the description that will help you to be able to locate the nearest GP to where you will be staying, and then you can register with such GP. Some GP, you don't need to go there physically, you just have to register online, but some would want you to come physically to get a form and register with them. I just realized I'm saying GP, and the word GP can be foreign to a new migrant. So GP is like your local medical practice, like where you can go to, like a health center, where you can go to if you're feeling sick or if you have any health challenge or you have any health complaint, where you can walk in and see a doctor or a doctor come to see you. So usually in the UK you would have a local GP that is not so far away from you, maybe like a 10-15 minutes walk to your house. So everyone would have like a GP that is around your area. So the link I said in the description, you just have to put your postcode into it and it's going to suggest some list of GP that is close to you, and then you can choose the one that you prefer to register with. When I just arrived into the UK, when they talk about GP and surgery, I would associate the word surgery to like an operation where a body is being opened and there is incision and stuff like that. That's what I understand by the word surgery. But I didn't realize that in the UK they use the word surgery for like a local clinic where you can go into and see a doctor and then they give you a prescription and stuff like that. So that is what I mean when I'm saying GP and surgery. So everybody needs to register with a GP or with a surgery as soon as you arrive into the UK, and then they are going to give you an NHS number, and that number is the number that will be carried with you if you change your location, or it's going to be used for your medical record basically. So if you call the GP or you call the surgery for something, they are going to ask for, most of the time they would ask for your date of birth because they know people don't remember their NHS number. So you use your date of birth to generate your NHS number, and that is how they can see all your medical record and be able to attend to you in the appropriate way. So I would advise every new migrant to please don't wait until you're sick. Don't say, oh, I've never been sick for years, I don't need to register with anything, I'm a strong person, blah blah blah. Just please register with a local GP, because sometimes this local GP don't only wait until you're sick. For example, if you're a woman, they were going to be sending you some letter to do some checks of your body, so that you don't wait until maybe you have some diseases before they realize it. So there are some checks that maybe every woman should undergo at some point of their life, at some age of their life, or some men at some age of their life. So if you are registered with a GP, they can send you an invitation to come and carry out this test. And since you've paid your IHS fee, these tests are for free. So it is mandatory, it is very important for you to register with a surgery. Third tip I'm going to be sharing for new migrants for survival and for settling in tip is to know your rights. So as migrants, sometimes new migrants are always shy or afraid. They don't know how far they can go or what they can take or what they shouldn't take. Some new migrants that are found in workplace, some have been abused because they don't know what they can do, or some people just have this mindset that because they are migrants they have to tread carefully. Yes, you have to tread carefully, you won't disobey the law and stuff like that. But as much as you respect the law, also you also deserve to be respected regardless of how you look or your beliefs or whatever. So as new migrants, I would like to encourage people to know their rights, know their boundaries, and also know the things that they should go for and they shouldn't go for. For example, the issue of claiming public fund. It is always written on every migrant's card that you have no access to a public fund. Please don't try to claim any public fund because you hear that okay, the UK gives support to people that maybe they are not earning as much and stuff like that, and you feel like when you get here you're going to access all of that. Please try to respect those boundaries. So if they say that you have no access to public fund, don't try to claim any, because if you claim it you're going to pay back, and you're not just going to pay back, you're going to pay some extra charges because you are not obeying the law. So try to know your boundaries, try to know the things that is accepted in this country. If you're coming in with kids, don't start flogging your kids and hitting them, because back in Africa it is not illegal to correct your children by hitting them, but here in the UK there are some things that is not acceptable. So try to know those things that is acceptable and those things that is not acceptable. So if you're just coming, try to make your research. If you know these things are not something that you can abide by or you can follow, then it's advisable not to come in the first place. But as soon as you arrive, try to obey these rules and regulation, and also try to know your right. Don't let anyone use you or abuse you or harass you or subject you to any form of discrimination because of your belief or because of how you look or because of your skin color. So you need to be able to know your rights and stand up for your rights. So if you're in a place of work, you need to speak up when you feel you're being harassed or you are being used or you are being treated differently because you are a migrant. So as long as you are a legal migrant, I believe this video is for legal migrants. I'm talking about people that have come into the UK legally now. So if you know your rights, you need to be able to stand by it and speak up for yourself, and as well as follow the rules and obey the rules, and don't do things that will put you in trouble. The number 4 tip I'm going to be sharing for you, which is going to be very important for every migrant, is to know the emergency numbers. Here in the UK we have emergency number. the two most popular ones that everyone should know is 999. So 999 is the number that you should call when you are in trouble or when there is a medical emergency and it's a critical one and you need help immediately. So 999 is the emergency number. But if you are just feeling not too well but it's not too bad and you just need some medical advice, you can call 111. So 111 is the number to call if you need, maybe you have cold, you have some symptoms but you're still okay, you can still pick your phone to call and hear some advice. But if you need help, like immediate help, you will know like you need help immediately, you need an ambulance, you need help immediately, you need the police to come right away, then you need to dial 999. So these are the two emergency numbers that is very popular. There are other emergency numbers that you should know, but these are the two most important ones that I think everyone should know in the United Kingdom. The fifth tip I'm going to be sharing in this video is social connection. So I think I shared a little bit about that in my other video, the one that I did before this, but then I'm just going to lay a little bit more emphasis on social connection. So as soon as you get into the United Kingdom, I would advise you to be socially connected. It is very, very important. So you can build social connection through religious activities by joining a church. You can build it by volunteering, like if you have like a charity organization around you, you can volunteer. You can look at what is going on around the town or the city that you are living and look for ways to get connected and be part of it. And this is going to really help you to settle in, because human beings are not meant to live in isolation. We all need one another. So as soon as you get into the UK, it's going to be helpful for you, because there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be like shocking for you. So many things that you need to understand, so many, like even the way people talk, the way people behave. So you need to understand these things. And if you don't have like social connection or people that will help you through this moment, through this time, you might be finding yourself not behaving the way you should be behaving. It's not as if they're going to change you to be somebody else, but there's something that is culturally accepted here that might not be culturally accepted where you're coming from. So you don't want to be in the black books of people. Like the respect here is different from where you are coming from. So if you are in a school or if you are in a workplace and you don't know how to say please, thank you, like the little courtesy of how the British people behave, and then you're just behaving just like the way you used to, this can put you in a lot of trouble and can put you in a lot of people's black books. So, and you don't want to be there. So it's not like you want to be people pleasers, but then you want to be socially acceptable, you want to be culturally, like you want to be respectful, isn't it? So you need to be able to connect with people, and this is going to go a long way to help you to settle in quickly. The sixth thing I'm going to be sharing is transportation, which I also shared in my last video. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to make this one a practical one rather than the one I'll just talk about like the last one. So you're going to download a Google map. And the funny thing is that you'll be surprised that a lot of people don't even know how to use a Google map. It's not something that we should shy from. Like reasonably, everybody use social media, we use a lot of apps on our phone. But then it took me even time to be able to know the right place to go when I want to use a Google map for navigation. So it's not just about opening a Google map and putting the direction of where you're going. So there's actually a way that you can use it to know, like if you're going to be if you're going to be walking to a place, if you're going to be riding a bicycle to a place, if you're going to be taking a taxi or a train or a bus. So I'm just going to do an illustration of how you can use a Google map when you arrive in the UK, and this is going to save you a lot of stress. Let's just go right into that now. So to use a Google map for navigation, you're going to open your Google Map application. And when you open it, sometimes people don't really notice that there's this blue arrow just by the right hand side. You're just going to click on that blue arrow and it's going to take you to a page that is going to show your location and where you're going. So if your location is on your phone, there's no need to enter your location, but if it's not, then you need to manually enter where you are. And then you're going to choose your location and write wherever you're going. So let's say I'm going to London Bridge. So I'm just going to go into that choose destination and I'll write London Bridge. After I click on enter, you're going to see that's going to show me different icons, that if I'm going to go by car, by bus, or by train, if I'm going to be walking, or if I'm going to be going by cycling. So wherever you're going, depending on where you're going, for example, if you're going by cycling, you just click on the cycle emoji and it's going to show you the direction of where you're going, and you can click on start and you can turn on your volume. It's going to just literally tell you turn left, turn right, go straight, and all of that until you get to where you're going. And if it's by train or by bus, you can go to the icon that shows train and bus, and then you can check on the best transportation that suits your need depending on the time you're leaving. You can even go on the place that says leave, and then you can choose that, okay, this is time I want to leave. Or if you can even set it to, okay, I want to arrive by this time, and then you can put the time. It could be any day, could be that same day, could be next week, could be any time, and then it's going to show you the transportation that will be available at the time that you would want to get there or you would want to leave for that location. And the other app I want to share in this video is called Trainline. So when you're using your Google Map and your Google Map is telling you that, okay, you're going to go to this particular station and get a train from this station to that station, personally I use Trainline. So I'll just go by Trainline and I'll put the starting station, say I'm leaving from Bedford to London Bridge. I'll go on my Trainline and then I'll put Bedford to London Bridge, and it's going to show me the ticket that is available, the prices and everything. I'll choose the one that I want to go with, and then I'll buy my ticket on that same application. So if your card is linked to your phone, it's easier that way. Then you can pay with your card, and from that application it's going to generate a QR code for you. So you just get to train station, you don't need to go and be waiting to buy a ticket again. Just scan this QR code and go for your travel. But sometimes, very rarely, sometimes it won't generate the QR code. It will give you a code for you to print a ticket when you get to the train station. I don't want this video to be too long. I would have explained how you can print your ticket by yourself from the ticket machine. It is very, very simple. But if you can't do that, just go to the tickets, like there's someone at the ticket place. If it's during the day, the person is going to help you print your tickets and give it to you. So this is going to help a long way with your transportation. Also, before I forget, to get bus tickets, most of the time you would have to go into the bus physically and buy the ticket. There are some places that you can buy your tickets online for bus, especially in London. You can buy like a week ticket or whatever. But personally, I've been buying my ticket because I rarely use the ticket. I cycle a lot, and walk and cycle and train. Those are the three things I use best, or get a taxi. So if you are the kind of person that will be using a bus, you can ask your bus driver to maybe give you a bus ticket for a week, and then if you're going to be using that bus a lot, you can just buy a week, because it saves you some few pounds rather than buying it every day. So these are the tips I have for you concerning transportation in the United Kingdom. So the last tip I'm going to be sharing in this video for settling in and for surviving in the UK is about employment. As soon as you arrive in the UK, if you're a student or you arrived as a family, you would want to get employment as soon as possible, because a lot of things are different in this country. Like paying house rent is not yearly like it is in Nigeria. Here in the UK, you need to pay your house rent monthly. So this means that you will have to be employed or have a regular source of income to be able to live and survive in the UK. Your bills will be monthly, everything is just monthly. So it's almost like you have to be working every month to be able to continue to live in this country. So most people that come in as a student, they're already spending a lot of money for their tuition fee, for their accommodation, for a lot of things that they need to relocate into the UK. So most of these people would want to get employment as soon as possible. So I'm just going to be sharing some website that I believe is going to be helpful for you to find an immediate start employment. Some of the most popular ones is Total Jobs and also Indeed. Also, if you're looking for like an health related job, I would advise you to go on TRAC jobs. And I'm going to also advise you that if you're looking for a job, you can look for a recruitment agency around where you live, and then you can contact this recruitment agency. If you're just coming to the UK, I would advise you not to be so choosy of the kind of job that you are looking for. Say you are a computer engineer and you arrive into the UK. The moment you arrive, your bills start running. So before you start looking for a computer engineering job, it might take a bit longer. And most of these jobs, even after they do your interview, this and that, it takes some processes before they do interview, before you get your employment letter, before you start your orientation and stuff. 2-3 months is already gone and bills are rolling every single day. So I would advise you to look for an immediate start job when you arrive into the UK. You can do this by going on Google and just type in immediate start job in the location that you are. Say you're in Cambridge, immediate start job in Cambridge, and you can look for jobs like carer jobs. These are jobs that you could easily get, especially if you have a car, you have access to a car. I think domiciliary carers are being hired so quickly, but to get like a care job in a care home sometimes might take a bit longer. Also, jobs that are immediate start job are like Amazon warehouse jobs. So these are not like a dream job. Yes, they are definitely not a dream job, but they are job that is just meant to help you get settled in and get money coming into your bank account before you wait for your dream job. As you're applying for the kind of job that you really want to do, I would advise you to quickly go for these kinds of job. Some people even go for like cleaning jobs, all these shopping and supermarkets like Aldi, like Morrison. They just look for like a sales rep kind of job that they can just get started with, and along the line when they have their dream job, then they can switch to those jobs. So these are my 7 tips for surviving and settling in quickly into the UK. I bet every of these tips, there's none of it that will not be helpful or useful for a new migrant. And if you know anyone, you're a friend, a family that is just relocating to the UK, please don't assume that they know everything that they are doing. Please share this video with them because it's going to go a long way to help them settle in quickly. And if you have any other question, anything whatsoever that you want me to also talk about, please put it down in the comment, and I would love to respond to each and every one of it. Thank you so much for watching this video to this very point. I bet it has been worth your time, and I hope that you're going to come back next time. And please before you go, click on the subscribe button down below and click on the notification bell, so every time I upload a video you can get to see it. And God bless you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.